How to get a business loan fast and without having to wait for myself to be present to help you. And so this way you can get started on your application very fast, hassle-free, very safe and secure, and again, very quickly. I'm going to be going into that right now. What you see on the share screen is a questionnaire form that is on my site, Viral Funding Solutions, where I've helped out many different business owners from all types of industries, all walks of life, get business funding in the US, outside of the US, etc. And one thing I've realized in my journey of helping so many and even getting funding for my own businesses is speed always wins. And there are moments where you don't have to necessarily get on a phone call with myself. It's not always a necessity. There's a time and place where you may want to, so I can help you clarify a few things. But this right here will help speed up the process. So I've taken a slightly of a different approach. I have other videos that I've come out with here on the channel on how to get a business loan fast, how to get one with bad credit, good credit, without a personal guarantee, etc. So I'll leave some of that content down below, and it may look a little bit different than this. But what I wanted to quickly get into is show you the process of how you can get your application started within literally less than a minute. So right here, what you're looking at again is the questionnaire form that I have on my site, which I'll link to you down below in the description. If you have not entered these details, which are very safe and secure, very confidential, what happens is you'll submit this and it'll land in my email inbox, where then I will analyze, evaluate it, and give you a proper response back on your best funding option and options. It's very personalized and customized. Unlike anything you will see out there, don't just go, what I recommend you don't do is just go to different online marketplaces and start applying and seeing what you get, because it doesn't always paint the clearest picture. Maybe a representative, a financial advisor, somebody didn't explain it well enough to you. And if they did, they probably don't know as much as what I would know as a broker / agent who's dealt with a lot of different industries. And I can show you what's the best solution for your specific industry and so forth. So again, this will be down below. Plus you will get a free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist to get you approved for funding much faster. That comes along with it when you do. Now, I didn't say this already, and this is the first time you're watching me. My name is Michael. So let's get right into this. My name or your name is what you're going to want to put in this field. And then after that, it's going to ask for your email and then your phone number. Now, phone number is only being asked for so that I can follow up with you once I put this email together for you and I send it out via email, which you should be looking out for, which I'll let you know more of. And then when that happens, usually what I do is I'll get my phone and I'll personally send you a text message just reminding you, saying, hi, this is myself, the broker / agent. I just wanted to remind you that I sent you an email, and look for the subject line with this from this email and then what I left you in there. And this is not an automated text or an automated email that I've sent. Feel free to reply back to it and so forth. So that's really what it's for. It's not for me to hackle or harass you or heckle you. I was going to say heckle you, excuse me, but I won't do any of that. You can speak to a lot of the previous business owners that I've helped, and they'll tell you that it's very seamless, it's very safe and secure, and it's very simple and easy how I work with people. Now, underneath that funding amount being requested, this is your spot to tell me how much you want. Maybe you don't know, so you'll leave that blank, but give me at least a number. You could put a little bit of information that you don't know, or at the bottom of the section, which I'll show you in a moment for the additional notes section. Time in business. Over here, you want to put, is it 5 years, 3 months, 1 month, 0, just put a 0. Don't leave it blank if you can, please, but don't just put a number. Or please don't put your business name here. Don't do that, or your entity. Just put the number. If there isn't anything, again, go with the 0, and I will know. The time in business is critical. If I have to go around Google searching your business name just to find the amount of time you have in business, and sometimes it doesn't paint a clear picture, I can't always find the time in business just by doing a quick Google search. There are different profiles. Not everybody has a Facebook, websites, they probably don't have a DMB and this and that. And so I don't want to have to be going through 2 to 3 pages just to find your time in business. And yes, it matters a lot, so I can give you a proper answer. Now, FICO credit score. Why is that being asked for? It's not as I am a creditor. That's not what is happening here. I'm not that. I'm not going to submit your score somewhere and it's going to hurt it. No. Like I said, again, I'm the mediary as the broker slash agent who is going to look at this and know what information is most valuable and what is your best funding option and options, and then tell you, okay, these are the qualifications, this is the description, how it works, the numbers thoroughly broken down, and then the application page where you can go ahead and get started, extra resources like video content on that application, etc., bonus tips and bonus material, as well as so much more. So that's where you're going to want to make sure you put in your FICO credit score. Again, it's not affecting you whatsoever. And a lot of these applications I show you will just be a soft credit pull, so don't need to worry about that. If you don't know, some people will put unknown or not sure, or they'll put a range. You can also give me a range, but exact is much better. That way I can better understand what category of lending I can get you, because there are different levels. There's A, B, C paper lending material. Let me move this over. There are different categories. So there's an A paper lending client, B paper, C, D plus. And so with the FICO credit score, let's say you have high enough of revenue, but I don't know your FICO credit score. You have enough time in business, but is this person an A paper lending client? Are they a B paper? I can't know because I don't have a FICO score. And a range can help, but a precise is much better, and I can pinpoint and give you a ballpark range of what you'll be getting. You still have to go put in an application. Again, this is not an application. It is a questionnaire. It's a very effective way for you to understand what your options are. At this moment, if you've already submitted that and I haven't gotten back to you, just know that I am very busy. I know I have a lot to get to. There are so many profiles, and there's only one person working behind it. And I'll show you a faster way so you're not waiting for any of that. Yeah, it's good to know your options and maybe what's best for you, but this will also be a faster way. So this is why I wanted to show you this video. Now let's move forward, and I'll get to that in a moment. You have established business credit. Very simple, yes or no. And what this shows me is if you say yes, and perhaps you have the time in business, you have the FICO, and you have the revenue and so forth, and then there's another question of, do you qualify for traditional banking? If you do, then that could open up an online banking term loan solution, online business line of credit and so forth, SBA related. And if it's a no, then it'll be quite difficult to justify getting you an SBA loan and so forth, and even an online banking solution. Lowest monthly revenue usually in the last 3 months. Critical to know because we can base that off of what service you'd qualify for and how much you can get. Your average monthly revenue, very important because we can make a basis of, do you get up to 75% of that, or from 75% of that to 200% to 150%? How does that look like? Use of funds, there's a little drop down here. You can go all the way from purchasing an existing business all the way down to other. So take some time to select the right one. Existing business loan / advance. Now this is important because if you already have an existing loan, you put a yes there, as I just clicked. Hopefully you can see that well. If not, I'll get to the next page here in a moment. But all this will be down below in the description in time. Now, when you put an existing business loan in advance, and may even sometimes ask who's the company you have with. What that then does ultimately, though, when you have an existing business loan / advance, if it's a first position, second position, or however many you already have, that'll ultimately cause a reduction in the amount you can get approved for. So I get a lot of business owners every single day who come to me and I ask them this question and they go, yes, I have a business loan. Yes, I have a current advance, but I want to get longer terms. I have a 6-month term right now. Can I get something with like 12 months? That does not work that way, especially with your fundability profile. There's no way. If you have a less than 600 FICO score, you're already automatically put in the 4 to 6 month range of getting terms. Now that even increases your rate because you're considered a very high risk profile. And then the payment history doesn't show good. You're not making payments on time. Nobody's going to trust. Myself, if I had the money to give you, I would not trust you. Even if you were a friend and a family member, I just couldn't do that. It's nothing against you personally. It's just business related and understanding how you pay your bills. All of that is very important. And so business industry, business name, helpful to know. Any additional notes you would like to share? Example, exact use of your funds, expectations, etc. This is your chance to give me maybe your term expectations, your rate expectations, and so forth. So it'll look something more like this on the page. So step 1, submit a funding form for funding. Fill out a simple submission form right here, the questionnaire, so I can contact you. But first, I'm going to analyze and evaluate your funding details to give you a very comprehensive response on your funding option and options to make sure you're getting the best solution anywhere. And this is far better and way better, you can ask a lot of people, than going to separate places individually and seeing what you get. That's not the way to do this, guys. I've been through that myself, and I wish I would have had somebody like myself showing me the ins and outs of all of this. Which are the direct lenders? What are the best brokerages to go through? How can I get the best offer presented to me? So evaluate your funding details to give you a comprehensive response, and you will receive an in-depth email showing you what it takes to qualify, how it works, and where to get started with ease. Step 2, get approved for funding. As a bonus, I'm giving you this free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist when you submit your details for funding. This way you can know for sure with 100% confidence and certainty you will get approved. This is without wasting days, weeks, months, and even years of sifting through outdated and wrong, scammy type of information. You can use this free checklist to get you ready before applying online, most definitely. Step 3, you get approved and funded. Once you've been approved for funding, all that's left is to get your funds deposited directly into your account so you can use it right away. If so, to continue building, growing, expanding, even getting out of a tight pinch. Now, what I want to clear up, I'm going to show you, I'm going to submit something very quickly, and the most important part is on this next spot, so hang in there with me. Now, people will always ask me, is there a way for me to get my funds without logging into my bank account? No, because we need to verify banking information. The lender needs to get into the account to deposit the money. Is there something you're hiding? Is there something you're not comfortable with? And there's people, that I've spoken to recently where it's not a fraudulent thing. It's more of a protective thing and based on security. Maybe they've been through fraud before in the past and they don't want this happening to them again. And this will not happen with myself and the lenders that I work with. This will definitely not happen to you. I can promise you that. All right. And I wouldn't be here doing this if that were the case. I'm not that kind of person who's going to trick people to do something like that. I would feel so guilty. Now, it's very safe and secure. The lender has to get into the account, and he's very safe about it. He's not going to pick everything, and he's not going to look at this and try to he's just going to deposit it to make sure that's the right banking account. There's no other way, really, because we can't just transfer money from our mind to your account, and we can't just email you the deposit, or we can't just somehow show up at your house and leave a briefcase there. And there's got to be a way of doing this, and you just got to think about how it's wired, ACH, and how it's just deposited into your account, and how this is one of the most effective ways. It's not the most effective way to do it. I mean, usually that's how it is everywhere. So now let me get back onto the screen and fill out these details and then show you the little video there, how this all works. So I'm just going to do some really quick numbers. This is not my data, just quickly going through it. Please be precise about your numbers. Don't just list something and it's like $34, $34K. So I'm going to submit this and I'm going to show you how it looks like on the other side. So ignore that red little custom field thing spot. There's some just technical stuff on my back end, but it works. If you see this page, or if it looks something similar to this, for the most part, you know that you've been through. Right? It says you're all set. We received your information, so no need to come back and resubmit it, even if you got something like that. It's in the works of getting it fixed again, but it's just some back end stuff with coding, and that takes a little bit of time. You're all set. We received your information. Your follow-up email is being emailed by myself. It'll have my name. Also, I'll likely be sending you another email in response to your details submitted. Please, and I put this in caps locks, look in all folders if necessary, spam, junk box, promotion staff, social main inbox. Use the search feature, etc. Sometimes my emails land in spam at the beginning because just how it can be at times. And I know if you're using it at a Gmail account, it can happen a lot, but I'm using it at my professional domain name. So my first name at viralfundingsolutions.com. So right underneath this, you can already get started. But not everybody knows the preferred funding loan type, but I give you enough information just to kind of look through it, and you can even get started if you're ready. So the first one here says working capital cash advance. Get a lump sum at once. This is a very common and very popular one a lot of you guys will go through, and a lot of people go through and get funding right away. Here's the next one, startup loan, completely new business, in parentheses, zero revenue and zero time. I got to put a little parentheses there. I was moving some stuff around. And then this one here is purchasing an existing business, capital, get a lump sum at once or a line of credit, and there's more options for that. Over here, we have business line of credit. Withdraw the funds when you want and use them however you need. So if you get approved for, let's say, $30,000, you don't have to use like a lump sum and repay it as soon as possible in like, You get usually 6 to 9, 12-month terms for the most part, and you can withdraw those funds, use them however you choose, only get interest on what you withdraw, and then it becomes a revolving line of credit when you pay it off, and it goes back into the original amount. Use it whenever you need. It's helpful for cash flow reasons and more. Equipment financing / leasing. If you're looking for more of a traditional financing setup, this is where you'll want to go, and I'll click through some of these in a moment. You have the SBA loan 7A and 504, and then I'll move some of this around, but this you have to understand that this is not an idle loan. I speak to so many individuals, so many different business owners who go, can I get started with the idle loan? Can I please? What's the PPP status? The deadline was December 31st, 2021 for the idle loan, and PPP currently is not available. There are some new ones coming up, like the $55 billion for $42 billion going towards the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Not everybody got it, so if you're in the queue already, you most likely don't have to reapply. And then for other type of restaurant, food trucks, and so forth, and then another $13 billion being allocated to hard-hit businesses in hard-hit areas. And so there's some on that, and there's about $1 billion going into grants coming up soon, but it's only passed the House. It has to go through the Senate, and it might be already out or it might be already fully approved by the time you're watching this. So bank term loan. If you qualify for traditional banking, this is where you will want to go. Not sure? You can start right there too. So let's say I go into working capital advance, which is, again, very popular. Let me do this for... I wanted to open up a new tab so I can save this page so I don't have to come back with the back arrow. So when you click that button, it'll bring you something to a page that looks like this. Most likely, it may be moved around in time. Similarly, this is what you see at this moment. So a lot of you have already gone through there. Please watch this video. Do not just click buttons to start now. Read through it thoroughly. I can't emphasize enough how many people I see it every day because I have recordings of people who do go onto these pages who just go like this. They land here, boom, click there. They go, boom, boom. They skim, boom, boom. Like, you got to take a little bit of time to read what you're getting yourself into. If not, you're going to go start an application that makes no sense to you. So press play. It's a little short video. This is about 3 minutes and 25 seconds long. And it's just me introducing and thanking you for opting in and then just giving you a little bit of a rundown of what you're going to be getting. Now, when you click this button, it'll say start now, most likely. Then it'll bring you to this page. Okay? So this will then say, for anyone who wants to get up to $2 million incredibly fast funding but does not know where to begin, discover how to get superior funding so you can build, grow, expand, and even get out of a tight pinch. You'll want to watch this video. It is well worth your time. Even if that video is more than 10 minutes, save it, come back to it, watch it thoroughly. There may be a little quiz that I set you guys up with, so if in case you did not watch the video, it's not a trap. It's just to make sure you understood what you watched. And if you didn't watch it, well, you'll understand what the requirements and qualifications are, because everybody gets trigger happy and they end up just clicking the button here, boom, boom, and then start their application. And I see it every single time, all the applications that come through that just do not get funded. And then people go, oh, you just didn't watch the video. And that's not being like mean. That's just being honest. That's giving you guys some tough love. And so if you can watch this video, please watch it all the way through the end. I'll go through the different programs, the different services, lines of credits, business line of credit program. There's the up to 2 million customer financing, payment processing, and so forth. So once you're done watching that, you'll have a very good idea. And then update I have here. This video may be updated in time, by the way, as years go by, where I may take this part off, but it might be the same. So it says update. The application process for the up to 2 million in line of credit has been updated and may look different from what you saw in the video above. You can click here to see the updated application process. So you're not seeing it right now, but I have a new page opened up. And what it's showing me, and it'll show you, is another page that shows you a video where I walk you through that application process. And there's also a document process where you can read it underneath that video. So I'll see if I can show you it right here, actually. And I'll show you how this is relevant to going to start your application. So once you click that update part, if you want to see the revised application process, it'll bring you to this page most likely. You can watch the video there to get started. And then there's also a document. If I click the link right here in purple at the moment, it'll bring you to a Google Doc that will show you the application process. A lot of you guys are very impatient and you guys don't take the time to actually watch that video or videos and actually go through the content. And so when you guys start an application, I'm not saying you specifically, but a lot of people do this. They do not understand. So they just start an application, they never finish it because they don't read thoroughly of what the expectations are. So you can click there, it'll bring you to that page as I showed you. And then down below here, we click this button, it'll bring you to this page, most likely. And I may change it. But what this is at the moment, it's the updated requirements qualification for 2022 page. So if anything were to ever change, if I did not change the video in time, I created this page in case there were any updates to the requirements, qualifications, and to make sure you really in caps like I put there. Look at that. Understand what you just watched and need to have. Get started below. So it's a quick pre-qualification question to let me know that you do qualify. So you click there and it'll bring this up and then it'll ask you the questions. Oh, well, I wanted 100,000, but you didn't watch the video on what I said. And so you're like, oh, well, I don't do 15K. So then no, but I do 5,000. But then when you do 5,000, I'll let you know that you can only get up to a certain amount because you don't have the revenue. Maybe perhaps you don't have the time in business, the credit score. And again, this page might not always be a quiz. It may just take you directly to the page, and I'll show you in a moment how that looks. But like I said, again, it might not take you to that quiz page. As I just said right now a second ago, it could take you directly to go get started on your application. But let's go back to this page. So if you were to click this button, it could rather than take you to a page that looks like this. Let me open it up in this new tab, copy paste there. It could bring you to this page. But you're going to be here like, well, where do I go click? Well, because you didn't watch the video. You didn't watch the application process. So when you get here, you're like, what do I do? Where do I go? So if you're looking for the up to 2 million program, you can click on learn more, or you can click on business capital. I'd try business capital. There's an up to 25K today service, depending on how much revenue you're doing. There's also the line of credit option. So right there, you can go to apply now, and then it'll bring you to the application page. That's how fast you can get in and out. Now, a lot of you start these applications and never follow through with it because I see it on my end, how many on my back office, they don't get started. I get email notified. I'm here with you along the way. And then when I try to get a hold of you guys, I try to get some type of feedback. I never hear back from you guys. It's like, Casper the unfriendly ghost. You become Casper the friendly ghost, and then you slowly become a physically human being, and then you just become again like the enemy of Casper, right? You just hide in the background now. It's not to say that in a mean way. It's just that's what a lot of people do. It's just, and I'm not here to pressure you. I'm just here to get feedback at the end of the day. You can ask a lot of people that I help. That feedback to me is number one. If there's no feedback and you're just trying to say, okay, I want a loan, but then you tell me you didn't want any, and you're like, well, you just texted me the other day. Why'd you well, just a simple answer would have said, we would have said, no, I wouldn't even have gone to this point. And I don't even like email or text you so much. It's just one every now and then. And it's like a lot of people would get upset because of one and every other day or so, every 1, 2 to 3 or so days that I'm trying to get in contact with you. It's not a phone call all the time. It's a quick text message. It's a quick email. It's a quick messenger, etc. Wherever we're communicating. But don't just push it out and just say, oh, well, he's going to forget about it. And, it's going to be okay. And this and that. And who you're dealing with myself, I'm not just another person you just go submit an application and that's it, or you just go and start and you find something, because I'm a broker. I'm a broker / agent who actually knows what they're doing. And if you're just trying to find the best deal, you're trying to find the best amount you can get possible, you are going to always be fighting for the lowest price, guaranteed, bar none. Now over here, startup loan, completely new business. If you are that, and I'm talking about no time in business, less than 4 months in business, it could bring you to a page that looks something like this. 1 second while the page loads. And I may customize these a little bit more to look like the other pages.
What if you can build a credit or
a lending
business by using other people's money? And what if through that business...
Sometimes when I'm on live, sometimes the other tabs don't load as fully. But what this is not me. This is a commercial by Osco. And so what will happen is you'll come to this video where then you can watch it, take the time, how to get a startup business loan. It is a bit lengthy, but it is worth your time. Go through it. A lot of people do this. They go through this and then they will come down here, boom, they watch the video, tells you where to go get started. Here are your options in the description. Go from there. I'm waiting forever to hear back from you in your questionnaire. I'll get back to you as soon as possible, but in the meantime, this is what you need to go and do. It's already all out there laid for you, and perhaps some of the numbers could be more customized and so forth, but it's all there for you to get started. This is the most up-to-date video out there on the channel. Anywhere on really YouTube you're going to find. So make sure you take the time to go through that. Now let me come back to this and we'll get through some of the other ones and we'll close shop here. At any point, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to voice them to me. Now over here, we have purchasing an existing business. Let's click there. So this at the moment will bring you to this page. For anyone who wants to get up to 5 million fast for the purchase of an existing business but doesn't know where to begin, quote unquote fast, depending on the type of service you go through, there are plenty of them. Now over here, you'll want to watch this video. From that video, then you can click here to get started for free. It'll bring you to a new page. Sorry, I think I had a fly on my knee. Well, then it can bring you to a page that looks similar to this. It may be looking a little bit different in time, but here are the links to get you started. So we have the personal loan. You can get the business loan application. If you're doing an SBA, revenue-based loan, MCA, we will evaluate you for that. And then you have other options on the table like a line of credit that can also be on top of all of that. But you have everything you need in there to get started already, ultimately, without having to wait for me getting through that questionnaire. Like today, I've had multiple business owners doing in the millions. Plus, kid you not, let me move this over. If it's not frozen, okay. I kid you not, I have business owners who today had gone through this just today, filled out that questionnaire. They went through that thank you page, got started. I haven't even done their questionnaire form yet. Literally business owners of over $1 million per month. And I have business owners underneath 100, under $1 million, underneath 100,000 as well, who just go through that and get started. There are ways to go through a direct lender, but I have it set up this way, which is best because I can handle everything this way. And this will be the best thing for you because we can always get you the best offer as opposed to just going to one person and submitting a file there, but you don't get the best cut. Let me put this in the comment section, Don. By the way, how are you doing? So this, guys, there's nothing else out there on the channel, on mine, not on mine, but anyone else's, on a blog, who has it so easily streamlined the way that I do. And I guarantee you, it helps me as a business owner almost automate the process. Now, I put it in the comment section. If you don't see it there, I'll try to put it in the description down below. Usually I put a description before I go live, but I appreciate you, Don, for commenting. Hopefully you can see that. Now, let me continue to move through this. So let's go back and now revisit another option. It's all there, guys. Like the way I have this systematized, boom. Does not matter if you're doing 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, 20 million per month. You're doing 0, you're doing 5,000. It's all right here in the screen you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Let me know in the comment section if this is something you are like. I appreciate that because I would be having to go through online marketplaces and people and submitting and logging into this information. And I'm not sure if I'm getting the best offer. I'm not sure if this is really tailored to me. What does the actual industry look like? There's so much more that goes beyond than just submitting these things to, I'm not going to say the name of those programs, but this is far beyond that and much better. Now we have the business line of credit option. I could not have it open up a new tab, but in case you want to come back and see a few other ones, in case you find out that you don't qualify for one, you can just use the backspace button and get there. But let me show you how this looks now on this one. You are very welcome, Don. So this page will then bring you to the line of credit option that I have available. Now, you just have to, again, thoroughly go through this. I gave you a little bit of a story of myself, how I was in the same situation. I went through banks and I understood how difficult, without having any kind of revenue at the time, how hard that is. And even when you go through all of that, it's not easy at all. So there's a little video there. I think it's about less than 2 minutes or so. I'd have to double check that, but it is very quickly. These videos are very short. Click there, start now. Now that'll open up a new tab, probably have it in the same tab. Sometimes people just click without watching the full video, so that's why I have it set up this way. Now let me go back to this page and then show you how that looks. Moment. Guys, this is really fast, very safe and secure, by the way. I hope I'm saying your name right. Is it Frejus or Frejus? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that I get it right. And good question. A new business with no revenue, you can qualify for a personal loan, perhaps on what we're looking at in terms of annual revenue is one thing. But if you have a high enough of a FICO credit score, that can qualify for you for funding. But I'm not sure, have you submitted this questionnaire? I thought you did. I know I've seen your name come up a few times. But like I said, I put it in the comment section. It should be in the description in time. But I'll show you in a moment where you can go ahead and get started with that if you fill out that questionnaire form. So right here, for anyone who wants a line of credit, this one currently is set at $100,000, but that can change in time where it can be $500,000, $250,000. If you want anything over $250,000, then you're looking at securing it with collateral. And so if you have collateral to give up and you want a higher limit on a line of credit, then that would be something to look at. But at the moment, this is what it is. And there are other options down here. Look at this. And I may label it where you need over 100,000. Perhaps you qualify for over 100,000. So I have other options available, as you can see right there. But this is what I would lead in with. Not a lot of people always need over 100,000. That would be sufficient enough. And this may change over time, more or less. But this is where you want to get started. Click here to start your free up to 100,000 application. And again, there are different lines of credits, but this is what I strongly recommend. And it could bring you to a page that looks something like this. Thumbs up back at you. So this is where you go ahead and get started. But again, if you did not listen to the video, you did not watch what I had to say, you better not have to just go through here and just click the apply now button. I may even put a quiz again underneath that button so you don't just get trigger happy and start clicking here and then now you're at your application and you're wondering why you didn't get approved for a line of credit because you didn't read. You did not even watch the video that I had presented. And that, again, isn't me being mean. It's about giving you some tough love and giving you the understanding and the right impression that I'm not here to just waste my energy or my time. And you shouldn't be doing that either. So receive approval up to 100K, take funds out as you need, automatic weekly repayment, new draws, and revolving limit. So now that's where you can go ahead and get started for that. Now back to this page again, and we're going to continue to move through them. But again, I'll leave that questionnaire down below in the description so you can go ahead and get started right away. And I may have this in another format. But over here, we have equipment financing. If you're a truck driver in the construction industry, perhaps you are in the printing shop industry, as well as all other types of businesses where you need those assets, that equipment that is not going to be a lump sum. Rather, you're looking for a traditional equipment financing / leasing to own, lease sales back position. And you're like, well, I want to lease it. I don't quite want to own it, but I want to rent it out for some time. Then this is the option to go through. Now, you'll want to click that button again, and it'll bring you to that page you're looking at the moment, something similar, and there will be a different message right there. Now, this is $1,500,000 funding with equipment financing, and I'll show you where to go through, what I highly recommend you do. Start now. Again, click that button. And then for anyone who wants to get up to $1,500,000, incredibly fast funding, click there. And then you'll want to watch that video. You'll want to see what the requirements are. And it may be in a little bit of a different setup, but then it can bring you to a page that looks something like this. And I'm thinking about changing the ending destination of this because right now what you're looking at is sends you to my equipment financing / leasing form. That's the one you'll want to fill out more specifically. And that I'll also leave down below in the description so you can fill that one out right away so you don't have to go through all of that. But this ending destination page might bring you to a video or 2 different videos or just a few other things that show you if you don't qualify for this specific lender or this specific program, then there's this one available too. But for the most part, this is what I have at the moment, and that works extremely well. Now let me come back to this page. Now right over here, we have the infamous or the most famous SBA loan 7A 504 financing. And I'm sure this is why you're here, because I couldn't get the idle loan and because of this and that. I've heard it all. And I do my best to help you so it can get processed. I have people in the reconsideration phases, people asking for increases, people who haven't even received anything, who've been declined. And at some point, you honestly need to understand and you need to come to the realization that the idle loan, listen, I'm going to move this over. You need to come to a realization at some point that the idle loan is not always going to be there. It won't always be the first primary option. Whether you can't get it or you've been declined, now you submitted a reconsideration, you've got an increase already and you're looking for more, but you just can't get it, or you don't want to wait that long. We just have to come to a realization. I get people every day who email me, can you help me with my idle loan? And the truth is, I'm not an idle loan officer specifically. I know them, but I can't say anything. I don't have any say in that matter at that point, wherever you're at. And the thing is, you have to come to the realization, and if you've been denied for cash flow reasons, for not being able to verify ownership, and there's so many more other things, credit and so forth, then you have to understand that if you've reached out to them again via email, customer service, different emails, different phone numbers, etc., and they've told you already, maybe numerous of times, not a lot, that only happens once, that you just have to, you might want to try again, but I wouldn't always recommend it. And you have to come to the realization that there are other lending services out there outside of government backed up funding. And so this is why I highly emphasize this so much. And so many business owners just don't get it because the idle loans have programmed you, the PPP loans, the grants have all programmed you to think that because they work like this here, they should work like that everywhere. And that is not the case, which I'm going to get into right now with the SBA 7A and 504. I'm not raising my voice to be aggressive. I'm raising my voice tonality in a way that it can help you understand that, look, I care for you because I've been through this. I know what you're dealing with. And it's not always like that's the only option. You have to understand that if I go somewhere else, what is my repayment? Not exactly what are my terms and rates all the time. What is my repayment? And am my cash flow positive or negative before I can take that? So are you a startup or non-startup? This is the page that it brings you to, if you're just tuning in, to the SBA Loan Quiz. At the moment, what I have set up is a quiz for you to answer. And this you need to go through. Don't just avoid answering any of this. If you avoid answering this, it shows you just don't care enough about it. You just don't care enough about understanding whether you qualify or not. Or maybe you already know on the back of your end, on your side, and you're just like, well, I'm just going to avoid it. So what you do here is you answer questions. So if you're a startup less than 4 months, there's no way you're qualifying for an SBA 7A or 504 loan, period. There might have been some circumstances where you could have qualified for that in the idle loans, and that's why there's a different impression set when you come to the other side of the world and you wake up to the reality of it if you have not already. So if you're a non-startup, what will you be using your funds for? Let's say expansion. Okay, factoring invoices. No, I want an expansion. Well, what is the loan amount you're requesting? So based upon the loan amount that you're asking for, it may not even qualify you for funding. So there's some where you can qualify you between 20,000, 30,000 to 350,000, one from 250,000 to 5 million. You just have to understand that the amount you're requesting, let me move this over. If you're requesting an absurd amount of years, my expectations, I have COVID relief or I need working capital, but I want 20 years like the idle loans. So you're telling me I can't get something longer? That's not how they work. So if it tells you 5 to 25 years, it doesn't always mean you're going to get the 25 years just for working capital. It has to make sense. So a lot of this is usually used for growth and expansion, payroll, debt, a lot of little things in between that you want to pay off. Equipment financing, it can even be used for real estate, a specific type. Depends on what property that is, but you just have to be careful for it. That's why there's a 504 outside of the SBA 7A. But a lot of people come to me and they go, you're telling me I can't get 20 years? No. The thing is, if you're getting working capital, And I was kind of burping in a second there. That's why you kind of saw my face scrunch up a little bit. So if you thought that came off wrong, I apologize. I didn't mean for that. It's just I was like I had like a half burp, so my face kind of was like that. I don't know if that's ever happened to you. Kind of weird. And so what you have to understand is that if you're getting something for like working capital, we could probably get you at most 7 years, up to 10 years. But in a lot of cases, it can be up to 7 years. If it's in a type of equipment, usually it's up to 10 years. And it can be a little bit over that. If it's purchasing an existing business, 7, 10, even plus more, usually sometimes over 10 years, 25, 5 to 25, you're looking at real estate at that end with the longer term. So you have to understand that. And sure, it may be okay if it's just 7 years. You're probably paying 4,000 a month on some type of amount you've gotten funding for, as opposed to getting 10,000 to 12,000 plus over here with the private lender. However, that's not always best because you're going to be in debt for 7 years, paying 4,000 when you could have paid 10 to 12,000 within 12 to 18 months, 12 to 24 months, 11 months, so forth. You would have paid it off much faster, and you're cash flow positive. So it's not always about feeling as comfortable as you can. It's about understanding your business's structure as well. Now, if you request 50 to 100,000 right here, I'm going to ask you questions. Do you have 2 years in business? You don't? Well, let's look at other options. You don't qualify for funding already with the SBA. You don't have 2 years in business? Well, we have another service I can help you qualify for. So even if you don't qualify for the SBA 7A or 504, this quiz will take you to another side. So it'll take you to another type of funding service, lender, brokerage, etc. So again, we start here, expansion. Let's say this time we put 500,000 to 2 million plus, which I have a few people I'm helping with the SBA who truly do qualify. And so do you have 2 years in business? Yes, I do. Do you have a minimum of a 650 FICO? How about a 680 FICO? No? Okay, that already... Let's say you have 400,000 in revenue. Do you? Oh, no, you don't? Okay, well, that brings you to another tier. You don't qualify for SBA funding. Do you have 400,000? Yes. Do you have any current federal tax liens? Yes. Well, you didn't qualify. Okay? It's as simple as that. And straightforward. No fluff answer. You're getting it right here. And if you would have said yes, let me come back to this. Let's open it one more time, and then we'll come back to these last two. Have you ever guys had some of this like ginseng tea? I think that's the name. It's an Asian type of tea. It's really good. It's my favorite. It tastes really good. You put some of that with honey in it. It just elevates the flavor. Now we're going to open up this page one more time. Give me 1 second. So let's get an example where you did qualify. And there are different tiers. If you qualified with a 650, you could probably qualify for up to 350,000 for working capital. So non-startup, I want to use it for expansion and so forth. Requested amount 50,000. Yes, I have 2 years. Yes, I have a minimum 650. Yes, 680. Yes, I do with that revenue 500,000. So the basis of that is 400,000 and 500,000. I know some of you guys in here are like, well, it's not like the idle loan. It's not like, it doesn't work that way. Do you have any current federal tax liens? No. Can you provide all of the following documents? 12 months of bank statements, 2 years of business tax returns, 2 years of personal tax returns, year-to-date financials, profit and loss, balance sheet, copy of a recent credit report. No, you don't qualify. Yes. Ta-da, you qualified for up to 2 million. Click here to start your free application. And what that then does, it can take you to a quick video, or it can like give you more details, or it can take you to an application and get started, or it may take you somewhere else. But the information is all in there. That's all you have to do, right? It's not difficult whatsoever. But we make it that way. We like go, oh, well, and there's some things we have to clarify, some things that I do necessarily need to get on the call with you to clarify for you, but it's not always the case. Well, I didn't qualify for an SBA. What other options are out there? Well, did you finish the quiz? No, I did not, because I got tired or I got busy. Well, now you're kind of interrupting my time and my energy until I get that questionnaire together. Let me send it to you first so you have everything together, and then we can talk. Once you have all of that, at least you have an understanding. That way, if it's even necessary to get on a call, all I have to do is just quickly run it through and clarify a few things. But everybody's like, can I get on a call? Can I consult with you? And they don't have the funding details to back it up. And even if you didn't, that doesn't necessarily mean I won't get on a call. It just means it's a lot more it's ineffectively in a way, time used, because it ends up being a lot more about the emotional level instead of the logical sense of the numbers. So now let me come back onto this. So once you go ahead and click that, I have it set up at the moment where if you click and you qualify for a banking loan solution, it'll bring you to my YouTube video. At this moment is how I have it set up. It can be changed in time. But this is where you're going to want to watch from a company here called SmartBiz at the moment, where you can qualify for traditional banking and what the specifications are to all of that and so forth. So now let me kind of go back. I know you can't see it all fully thoroughly, and then we'll round up the video after I get done with this last piece. So the number one thing most struggling business owners are missing is the right online business solution. So what I've done is if it's not sure, it could take you to another page, but primarily it'll bring you to like about the first option. And this is normally what's fine because a lot of people want a funding amount, and that's what will qualify them. And so it'll be similar to what you've seen before. So you can go through that process. Now, one thing I do want to highly emphasize though is that, let me move this out of the way. And then I'll just kind of close up here. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of this. You understand how less complicated of a process this can all be if, in caps lock, you take the time after you submit that questionnaire to go through those. You wanted a lump sum or you're not sure? There's a not sure button. It'll bring you up a lot of different solutions. Well, I wanted a line of credit. This is what it'll take. Go to the line of credit option. You're not sure about what a line of credit is? Go find out right there. Watch the video content, click the button underneath that, it goes start your application or brings you to a questionnaire or a quick quiz that needs to pre-qualify you, because if you did not watch that video, I do not want just anybody and everybody starting an application. And that's what I think I'm going to do with the line of credit, because I have so many people right now who submit a line of credit who do not qualify. And I'm seeing it coming from these pages because they just didn't take the time to read it. Take the time. I don't want to wake up or I don't want to have to go through my day and I look at this guy right here and I go through my email notifications and I go, yeah, they weren't going to qualify because they didn't have the time, the revenue, and they said they wanted a line of credit. They came back, they started an application. It's not well worth my time to investigate and even follow up with that person because it shows me that they're not understanding what they're supposed to be doing. And so now let me come back over here. Another thing that I do, and I'll show you guys a bonus advantage of coming through myself. So what you also get with myself is a certain amount of bonuses. You get about 13,000 plus, sitting usually over 20,000 now in free exclusive funding bonuses. And what this is if you get funding through myself as the broker / agent, I will gift you all these incredible exclusive bonuses, stuff like Facebook Accelerator courses, how to grow your business better marketing-wise, digitally, offside of that, paid organic strategies, SEO, how to locally rank on Google, how to list your website on Google, how to blog, how to do Google ads. Bonus number 3, done for you emails, special social media scripts, guides, templates, and everything that's up to date. Bonuses like my free group. I may have another one opening up soon for those who've gotten funding, who are actually serious and really understand how this works. And they're not being really iffy about this and that, and they understand the process of how it works, because it can be very difficult and challenging for those who don't, and it's not always the case. Usually with profiles underneath the 600 FICO credit score, I'm telling you, that can be very difficult to deal with. It almost at times can be a nightmare. And I don't mind helping. It's what I love to do, but you also got to put your part in and understand that if you have less than a sufficient credit score, that can hurt you, revenue, etc. So you have that. My sales funnel domination course, I'll show you how to use funnels to level up your industry, how to get a better lifetime value of your own customer, how to build upsells, downsells, how to use funnel templates to convert more people in your business, whether you're getting them to purchase or not, helping become a lead, email automation software, email marketing, how to level up your game. You'll get my fast action storytelling for business scripts so you can become a better person in your marketing and advertising, personally and business branding. Special bonuses, I give away a free vacation incentive over thousands and thousands. Right now, this offer is only available for the clients who get a funding of over 25,000 and above. This may be changed in time. It may be nothing. It may be 20. It may be 15,000. But that's what I have it currently sitting at. Special bonus number 2, free restaurant voucher, $300+ value. This offer is only given at a certain amount, but again, like I said, I may change that in time. You also get more passive income material. If you guys want to learn about how to grow another source of income, I'll show you guys how to do that and what I have built in other industries. That will also be shown. Other ways of earning and earning so much more potential-wise, and what I've been able to do myself digitally. And then some other special bonuses, like if you want to learn how to blog, I have a challenge that I created myself digitally, discover your own niche, and a bunch more stuff that's not even shown here that you just have to take a look at. So to get these bonuses, what it's valued at, you'd want to go ahead and start your application if you have not already, first and foremost. And if you've been given an offer, to then go ahead and accept that. And that's how you can go ahead and get these bonuses. That's how it works. Okay, now let me move this over and I'll close up. So you just got to see what I'm able to gift you in bonuses for getting funding through myself. And it's a very legitimate service and very much safe and secure. And what you're getting from me is bar none better than most people out there, because a lot of them will just show you something. A lot of them don't know their stuff. They'll get clients, but they don't know how to communicate what is the best product or service for them. They don't really understand. So I have brokers to this day who come to me and ask me these questions, and I help them. And that's a huge part of how they were able to close clients, or able to, I don't like the word close, able to direct people to go ahead and start and get the offer that they were presented. But it also has to make sense to you. I would never tell you to take an offer if it does not make sense. Your benefit needs to exceed your repayment. If it does not, don't move on with it. I'm not going to be there like, hey, why didn't you do it? No, I'm going to say, hey, and if you took the offer, congratulations. Here are some bonuses. Great relationship with you personally, business-wise, awesome stuff. We can move forward from there. So just to quickly recap, you got to see the process. Sorry, I heard like some trash cans being moved in the back, neighbors. So what happens is you can go through that questionnaire, which I'll leave down below. I'll also left it in the comment section. I'll try to leave it there again. But once you submit that, it takes you to the thank you page. Select one or more of those options. Go through them if you need to. But go ahead and get started. That's all you need to do. Sometimes all you have to do is go through a brokerage, get the best offer presented to you, which is amazing, what I would highly recommend. And then sometimes when you upload the documents directly to there, you don't have to send them to me. You'll be asked for your 3 months or so months of bank statements, a voided check, and copy of your driver's license. Just know that it's very safe and secure. And some of that stuff I can usually check on my end when it's uploaded with the underwriters and lenders, and sometimes I don't. So just know that that can be checked by myself and so forth, and it moves along that way. So it's much faster. So you got to see all of that. You got to see some of the bonuses. I'll leave a bonus video so it goes through it more thoroughly down below on what those actually are, description-wise, and so forth. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. And if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click that bell notification icon so you don't miss any future videos I come out with. If you got value out of this, yes, please give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate you, and I'd be very humbled by you. And if you feel anybody else can get value out of this, which I'm sure there are a lot of business owners out there who would love to get help, who would love a much easier process, who would love a more personalized and customized response, who wants somebody to take care of them on a personal, human level, gets to know who they are, on a business level, respects them, respect each other, and we get moving forward, ultimately helping as many business owners as we can, please feel free to share. Now, that is everything from me. Talk to you soon.